Hello. Hello, everyone. I just thought of doing a random live stream this afternoon. Uh, I just wanted to share something. It's it's a it's a talk that I've done a few weeks back uh, with a group of students, entrepreneurs, and I think it's still relevant now. And I also think that a lot of people can benefit also from this talk that I've done. And to be honest, it's also therapeutic for me to be sharing this uh, because, as you know, we're all locked up in quarantine. And yeah, so this is totally random. And yeah, I just wanted to share this with you guys this afternoon. So if you are watching, feel free to say hello, to say hi, and um, yeah, feel free to just comment down and tell me what you're thinking. So, hi Hera, and then yeah, Janice Vicente is here, Boomer's Tribe. Hello, hello. So again, this afternoon I'll just be sharing this talk that I've done a few weeks back, and parang nasayangan ako that I did this just once, so I wanted to share it with other people, and hopefully, meron din tayong parang there's something that we can all learn from here. And yeah, I just really want to share how my experience was and how our experience was at the Spark project during this quarantine. So yeah, sige. Um, I'll start. So basically, um, the talk is about sparking a better normal. It's really about how we were adapting or how we were affected by COVID, and how I think entrepreneurs, most of the entrepreneurs can relate, can how they are affected by this pandemic. And yeah, just really a sharing of what we've done and what we've learned, in the past 5 months. 5 months na pala. So my name is Patch. For those who are watching or are learning about the Spark project and what we do, I'm the founder of Spark project, and we are a crowdfunding website and the platform for creative conscious entrepreneurs. So I would describe myself also as a creative conscious, and I really want to enable entrepreneurs who see business, doing business differently. Those who want to choose a path of profit and purpose, both profit and purpose. And for this afternoon, I'll be talking about some table topics. So one about the Spark project, but more I'd like to dive into how COVID-19, the crisis has affected us, and some lessons on how we moved forward or how we reacted during this pandemic, and some lessons that we've learned and I've learned along the way. So these are things that I've learned also from other people, from my mentors, and from fellow entrepreneurs who have been a support, or who have been um, my support group during this time. So the Spark project, we're a creative conscious platform. So we are a website. We use crowdsourcing, specifically crowdfunding, and also we are a platform to educate. So we educate people, and our main goal is to enable Filipino entrepreneurs to start and scale their different businesses. So over the past 7 years, since 2013, we've sparked over 100 projects, and we've raised over 15 million pesos cumulatively for these projects. And beyond just a platform, we are a community for the creative conscious. So we define we define creative conscious as people, entrepreneurs, creatives who are looking into business and seeing businesses differently, who are conscious with their purchases, people who are conscious with their purchases, entrepreneurs who are conscious with the type of business that they're doing and the impact that they're creating in society and the environment. So yeah, so we are more than just a platform, and we've intentionally, as Spark Project, uh, we've intentionally wanted to become more than just a platform, but a community. So we use this platform of ours to inspire, educate, and enable people through our website and as well as our in-person events. So this one we have Spark Fest. So last year we had a conference called Spark Fest. That this Spark Fest 2019 is the um, third conference Spark Fest that we've done. But of course, because of the pandemic, things have changed. Diba? So yun. And to my point, yeah, when COVID-19 happened, so this is what we were doing, the past 7 years since 2013, then COVID-19 happened. Pretty much the world stopped. And we were coming into 2020 with such excitement. But when COVID happened, actually even before when Taal volcano happened, everything started to become uncertain, and no one knew what will happen in the next weeks, months, and even years. No? So for me as an entrepreneur, it was like limbo for me. And be honest, I feel like it still pretty much is. Like things are still very uncertain. Like next week, we don't know. Like in 2 weeks, we're in MECQ now. Who knows in the next 2 weeks if things are gonna change. So, as a business owner, it's so hard also to plan during this time. And one thing that I've learned, or something that, which reminded me on how to react during this time, it's like thinking, okay, I've learned this from this guy named Donald Miller. I'm part of his mailing list. And during the pandemic, he sent out an email about this one. Like, during the times of crisis, what role are you playing? So I think it's nice for us to ask this for ourselves. Are we either, in this narrative of COVID, or do we consider ourselves a victim, a villain, a hero, or a guide? So, are we a victim? Feel ba natin na, alam mo tayo, victim tayo ng sitwasyon na to? Ang tawag nito, nawala na tayong magagawa. Biktima tayo ng circumstance. Do we choose to play a villain na we feel like aawayin natin lahat because sa sitwasyon natin, we antagonize everyone, everything that's happening. It's not our fault, and everybody kailangan managot. So do you want to play that role, or are you playing that role now? I think it's nice to kind of like think about that for ourselves, no? Or do we consider ourselves now as a hero? Do we play that role as a hero where we use, our privilege to help other people? Or do we, use this time, even if times are hard, to rise above it and become a hero for other people? Or also, do we consider ourselves now, or do we want to be guides? Guides are people who, you know, um, may not be necessarily the hero, but guides people or helps heroes to be heroes. So to be that support for other people so that they can be good at what they do. So it's nice to think about this. And sana during this time, we choose to be a hero or a guide and not a victim or a villain, because we all have a choice to with on how we would like to react during this situation. And sana we choose to be a hero or a guide. at least for me, as a Spark project and the Spark project itself, we've always considered ourselves as support, no, as a guide. So we wanted to be more of that during, especially now during this time. And yun, and because of COVID, think a lot of things changed for us. So what challenges and opportunities did COVID bring Spark? So first is goodbye in-person events. So because of physical distancing, the physical distancing measures, we have to practice that, and we had to say goodbye to all the plans that we've had on having in-person events. So that means also goodbye to Spark Fest 2020 being an in-person event. Another thing that how COVID has affected our organization is our need, or we were forced to really go fully digital. Although we are a website, and our team has been used to. I think we're lucky that way because our team was used to um, working virtually, so it wasn't much of an adjustment for us. But now, because of COVID, we really have to embrace being digital and being a virtual team. So we're really 100% virtual now, more than ever. And even not just us, internally in terms of operations, but digitally also in delivering whatever we can do. So because of that, no more in-person events. We had to move digitally. And because of that, we ran over 30 webinars in the past 5 months. And we've also done a virtual conference in place of Spark Fest, which was an in-person conference. So yeah, we really were forced to move online. Our in-person events had to be digital, delivered digitally. So we had a lot of webinars. And we continue to do that. And then another one, especially during the early months, weeks of the pandemic, of course, a lot of people were mobilizing support for our frontliners. And yeah, there was an opportunity to collaborate with Ben and Ben. So Ben and Ben found us. They were organizing a live fundraising event, and it was very useful. And their group approached us, Spark Project, and asked if we wanted to be, the crowdfunding platform for them. And of course, we said yes. And we were a bit nervous because they were the biggest. Kumbaga, we haven't had a big of a project since we started, and we weren't so sure if our platform could handle the volume, but we said yes anyway. So they used crowdfunding to raise funds for frontliners. And yeah, they have been our biggest project so far. We were so happy to be part of it. And true enough, the volume of the support from their crowd to the site has brought down the site. So it really the volume was so much that it brought down the site, and we had to, make the fixes and bring it back up again. We learned a lot, and yun, para siyang it was our baptism by fire for us. But it was I'm just really happy then talaga that opportunity came because we were being true, no, to our mission. So we were able to use our platform to help other people during this time. And during that time, it was really the frontliners who needed help. So yeah, thanks Ben and Ben. And then yeah, what else? So some things that COVID, like realizations that I've realized during this time, we must really remember to be sensitive to the times. Ang hirap kasi a lot of the entrepreneurs and social enterprises in our network, most of them are non-essentials. They're product-based businesses. So especially during the earlier times of COVID, it's hard, to promote your product. So you have to be sensitive. kasi a lot of people, yeah, everybody's experiencing some sort of crisis. Uh, and we have and if you're a business, you have to make sure that whatever you put out there is something that is timely and sensitive. And I think a good way to do that, to share what my friend Gino Borromeo said during in one of his talks, is that during this time, if you're a business, you have to be helpful, useful, and meaningful. So parang yun yung guide, for us entrepreneurs. So if we're a business, how can we be useful, helpful, and meaningful, and hopeful to our community, our market, our customers? And with that, ano siya, when you roll out something like that, launch a new product or service or promote something, it's really right timing then. And siguro what makes it difficult is that because of things are so uncertain, parang there's ECQ this week and there's GCQ and then balik na naman sa MECQ, hindi mo alam kung ano yung tamang time, di ba? So, yun, parang ano ba yung tamang time na mag-put out ng content or ng promotion. But yeah, just really have to learn as we go. Ika nga. And also, during this time of COVID, I think something that we must remember also is that we have to use this time. It's also an opportunity for us to pause, take a break, and use this time to improve. As a person, as well as like in your businesses, like there may be some things in the business that you haven't had the time to do, like fix your files, fix your accounting, or fix your processes, or fix your promotional materials. And this time of uncertainty and of limbo could be a time for you to focus on things that are internal to your operations. Because yeah, we really did a lot of those as well. We fixed our branding. I kind of like created new branding content, and then we fixed our finances also, our bookkeeping. Yeah, so we made the most of that idle time to catch up on things that were usually put off when pre-COVID. One more thing here. So we've zoomed out. So I realized that it's possible to run a virtual team for the Spark project. I plan to keep it this way. This pandemic has helped me institutionalize this. So yeah, as I was saying a while ago, then we were forced to go digital, and now we've really embraced it, and it works naman. And I plan to keep it this way, and that's good. But also parang, yeah, mas parang naging sobrang dami din na parang ang dami ding moments na because you had so much Zoom meetings, you also get burnt out. Parang there were more meetings that you can do usually parang during COVID than you were in pre-COVID, and you don't notice it, and nakaka-burn out siya. So that's also something that parang, yeah, I've learned to manage during this time. Another thing that we've done during COVID as a response to it, or how we reacted as a company, is the launch of Sparkabilityorg. So we finally launched the learning hub. Sparkability is the learning hub for creative conscious entrepreneurs by the Spark project. So our focus now is really to help these entrepreneurs rise above the pandemic. So Sparkability, it started out as a level up program, like an acceleration program we done for creative conscious enterprises, which we ran in person last October. So it was in person. But now, because of the pandemic, naabutan kami. No? So we had to finish the Sparkability program online, and then as a supplement or as a continuing way of engaging with the first batch of entrepreneurs that we were um, helping out, and at the same time looking for a way to find a more long-term uh, parang way to engage with creative conscious entrepreneurs, we thought of creating Sparkabilityorg. So it's a learning platform where there are different courses and resources that is aimed to help uh, entrepreneurs, creative and social entrepreneurs during this time. So if you can check it out, that would be cool because there are already like around six mini courses there that you can jump right in and learn from. Okay, so I want to share with you top 5 lessons I've learned during this pandemic. Dami kong learnings, no? Parang dami ko na nasabi. But ito, siguro, yeah, top 5 lang. Just wanted to throw this in as well. Baka it could resonate with you too. These learnings really didn't, some of them didn't come from me. It's something that was shared to me and I found like, okay, oh nga, no, I learned from them. Like, learned from my mentors, I learned from my fellow entrepreneurs, and yeah, I just really want to share them through this slide. Um, what I've learned from them and from my own experiences dealing with this COVID-19. So first is focus on the things you can control. As my Prof. Ed would say, very stoic guy. Yeah, because of of COVID, wala, there's so many external things that are happening. And um, sometimes you feel like you're not in control or yeah, you're a victim of this situation. But you can rise above it. You can rise above the noise. And it's really having that mindfulness of asking yourself, okay, during this time, what are the things that I could control? Because I cannot control what other people say on social media or what how the things are doing outside of my house, for example. But I can control what's happening inside my house, what's happening inside my head, diba? So focus on that. Kasi if you try to focus on things that are outside, really chances are you can't really control them, diba? So you'll just end up being frustrated. So focus on what you can do and be okay with that. Second is adapt and redefine essentials. So of course, with my talks with a lot of the social entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in my network, here up for them kasi essential sila eh. Pero you can adapt or sorry, yeah, during this time, maybe some of your products aren't considered essential, but maybe it's also a good way to see how you can redefine what essential is. So basically, essential is not just about food and medicine. Um, you can look and you can look at ways on how you can use your business to bring back some normalcy in people's lives, especially now that they're stuck at home. So parang how can you help them feel good about themselves or bring some sort of normalcy that the things that they were used to doing outside the house, maybe there's a chance for you to help bring that inside or indoors. And you know, it might not be essential per se, but if you look at it, it's really essential for bringing back some normalcy to the life of that person or to your customers. So yeah, so you can adapt and redefine essentials. Third is embracing digital. So wala na tayong choice dyan. Embrace na natin yung digital. I don't think na mawawala siya anytime soon. We really just have to find a way to be online. If you're an entrepreneur, if you run a business, be online. Because even if the pandemic's over, it's still a win for you because you have established your online presence, your online store, or your online products and services. So either way, it will be useful for you. So might as well really embrace digital now. And then next is survive and rehabilitate. So right now, focusing on, so there are two things, no? So parang now since we're in the middle of pandemic, our mindset now is survival. So as business entrepreneurs, diba? Businessmen, we have our own businesses and enterprises. Survival. Nasa survival mode tayo. How can we survive next week or next month? But that doesn't also mean that you can't think about rehabilitation. Right? So what you can do post-pandemic. And I think now I see that kind of like the whole during COVID and post-COVID becoming more, the lines with it is becoming more and more blurry because parang na-extend lang talaga yung buong pandemic. Eh. But yeah, to my point, yeah, it's important that you think about survival. And survival doesn't necessarily mean that those are the things that you'll do when you start rehabilitating. But also, when you think of your rehabilitation plan, it doesn't mean that you have to wait for COVID to be over for you to think about or plan about how you will rehabilitate your company. So it's like a balance of both. So you can do both at the same time. So parang survival is like your short-term response, and rehabilitation is like your medium-term, long-term response. And lastly, the importance of leadership. So you have to be the leader for your organization, for your business. And being leaders, you have to be that source of strength for your people. Uh, Speaking of people, you don't forget your people. It's quite hard, no? So being founders of your respective organizations, people look to you. Eh. So even if you're in a way falling apart inside, you also have to be that source of strength for people because they are looking for leadership and direction from you. So yeah, it's a tall order, but you also have to be that leader for your group or for your organization. And that's why it's also important that you really also take care of yourself and yeah, your mental wellness during this time. Having a good support group also helps. Having people to who you maybe fellow founders, fellow entrepreneurs who you can trust and kind of like debrief uh, your day with is really um, useful. Like for us, with my circle of entrepreneurs, we usually do catch ups um, every so often and see that we experience a lot of things that we have a lot of things in common. Parang we experience a lot of common things during this time. And, we help each other out. We can't solve everything for each other, and there are really things that we can't solve and can't control. But knowing that you're not alone in this fight um, is ano na, is good enough to keep you sane for the next week. Lastly, I something siguro that we can take away also if you're looking into parang how can I survive and how can I rehabilitate during this time. These are some things that I thought would be useful. I used Respark. No? So how can you respark your business? It's an acronym. So first is R, reflect. So first things first, if you want to respark your business during this time, reflect. It starts with you. It starts with, yeah, really knowing who you are. As Coach Kitty uh, would say, is, di ba, when you're in an airplane, the parang flight attendant would say if something happens, like there are masks that will fall, di ba, from the top, di ba? And then you have to put oxygen mask first before you put it on, let's say, with to your child. So, so you have to reflect first and take care of yourself. So these are extraordinary times. And, if you are the leader of your organization, you have to start with yourself. And I think with any type of business, self-awareness is important. Is it ask yourself, no, parang, what do I need at this point? Is this, um, do I need some time to eat, do I need some time to also rest? What can I do for my company, for my business at this point? Is it something that I can give, um, in terms of effort? Alam mo yun? Can I do that for my people? Can I do that for the group? And really knowing yourself there, and having a pulse of what you can. And then again, focus on the things that you can control, right? Next is um, S. So yung RE pala was reflect. And then S, we go with S. Seek and seize. So when you're ready, feel like, okay, sige, I'm ready to start resparking my enterprise. Now you try to scout for opportunities for your business. It's about seeking and seizing opportunities already amidst this crisis. So seeing which areas can serve as opportunities for us. So you can do a skills check or like asset check, or you know, yeah, or you can do a check on the things that you're good at and see what, with the situation now, how can you be of value and how can you use your skills to be able to do business, at the same time be helpful, useful, and hopeful for other people. So I know of some enterprises who have pivoted, or at least during this time, seize the opportunity to create PPEs, face masks, or and even if your business is, let's say, this is your product, during this time, feeling ko it's free for all eh. Na parang it doesn't, of course, dapat in line siya siguro with your skills, di ba? Pero, and sana with your mission. But if, alam mo yun, if kailangan nyo for your company to survive is magbenta ng something else that usually you wouldn't do if not for the pandemic, parang I think it's totally fine. There's no judgment there. We're all here surviving eh, di ba? Next is once you've seeked and seized, pivot tayo. So think of ways on how you can pivot and prototype. So isip ka na ng opportunity, pivot ka, create a prototype, and be quick to adapt to that. Your prototype, or like your first version of your new product and service might not be perfect, and it's totally fine. I think what's important here is that you're you're quick to do that, kasi you can learn naman along the way and improve it. And then next is A, which is account. So account for the things you have. Of course, as a business, do your accounting. So let's not forget our numbers. Of course, the reason why we're doing this as well is because we need to sustain our company. So there might be an opportunity or a need for you to tweak your business model and tweak your numbers and pricing. So you have to take some time, set aside some time to do your accounting, to look into your numbers. Next is R, which is relaunch. So relaunch is once everything's done, bring your products and services, new products and services back to um, launch them to market. So launch mo na. And then next is K, which is keep improving, is adjust when needed. So yeah, picking up from the prototyping activity, or like the pivot and prototyping during this whole process, you have to, yeah, do and launch right away and learn along the way. And that's where keeping improvements come in. And then, yeah, and it's just like a whole iterative process. It's a cycle of like reassessing, of it's a process of resparking. It's a process of like, after that, you reflect again, you seek and seize, pivot and prototype, account, relaunch, and then keep improving. And then, you know, you self-assess again, reflect, and so on and so forth. So yun, so Respark. My 2 cents on how you can respark in this new normal. And yeah, to end, siguro, now more than ever din kasi, I think when you are resparking, or if you're a business, or you are looking to start a business, I think my challenge for everyone is, or my message for everyone is, parang as we create for this new normal, let's not just create the new normal, but let's strive to create a better one. And now more than ever, businesses should spark good. Um, when I say spark good, businesses, I think now would have to be more, I hope, businesses that would come up and start during this time would be more conscious, would be more mindful with um, the things that their business could do to society. And hopefully they could impact society for good, and not exploit people, not take advantage of the pandemic, but think of products and services and solutions that would really bring about a better normal. So hindi lang tayo sana new normal na parang, oh, how can we adapt to this new normal? Siguro a better question here is how can we create and spark a better normal? And whatever your answer is with that, hopefully, yeah, it really does do that and create that positive change. So with that, that ends my short presentation, my random Facebook Live. Hope you learned a thing or two, and if you like what you've listened to or like what you've watched, feel free to share it to someone who might need it during this time. And if you want to get in touch with me, feel free to email me at patch@thesparkproject.com. And yeah, please go to our site also, thesparkproject.com. There are projects there that would need your support. So if you want to, if you feel like you can't do anything, try, backing any of the projects at Spark. It would really go a long way. And then also invite you to go to sparkabilityorg. That's our newest website. It's our learning site. So it's the School of the Spark Project for any entrepreneur who wants to respark. I invite you to go there. There are resources there, mini courses, and that can help you, respark in this new normal, so you can create a better normal. So with that, thank you, and have a nice day. Bye.